You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram, Rainier Avenue Radio World, and on Twitter at Rainier Ave Radio.
This message is brought to you by Public Health, Seattle and King County, the Washington Department of Health, Washington Chapter AAP, and Within Reach. No matter where your classroom is, whether in person or online, routine vaccinations protect your child from serious diseases like measles, mumps, and chickenpox, and they keep your child safe, healthy, and thriving. Need help finding a provider? Visit parenthelp123.org or call the Help Me Grow Washington hotline at 1-800-322-2588.
Rainier Avenue Radio presents All Music, All Day Saturday. Music, All Day Saturday.
This is Edwin Bailey, Bulldog Blues.
Jazz from the Cabinets.
That's right. It's time once again for Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy.
Star Time.
Thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul Pierce. This is Star Time.
Saturdays, all music, all day. Reggae Hour. K-Fox Night.
You looking for the perfect beat? Yeah, it's the beat of the Fox.
Fresh Juice with D-Money in the
Myself to the money.
Nice Ice Patron.
Taylor Hart.
This is Spencia, the Northwest Rap Gang.
DJ Bettina, Chad Cheddar, Northwest Rat Gang.
Sergio Lacour's Love Line.
It's Sergio's Love Lines with Sergio LaCour. Go to the phone line. Tell them who we talking.
Sea Monster Radio. Mo Jams is your jam.
We're live. Welcome to Moji on Mondays. This is KZ of KZ Music Media. Caller Goddess for Moji on Mondays.
Just my opinion. God is inspiration. All day and all night. Saturdays on Rainier Avenue Radio. Are you a cultural producer who has been impacted by the pandemic? For Culture is offering relief grants between $1,000 and $12,000 to cover your COVID-related losses and help you move forward with your creative work. If you're creating cultural experiences in any discipline at any stage of your career, you should apply. Exhibit designers, museum educators, archivists, restoration professionals, curators, archaeologists, history researchers, artists, and more. That means you. Not sure if you're a fit? Give them a call and they'll talk you through it. The deadline to apply is Wednesday, February 2nd. Head to forculture.org/recovery to get information on virtual group workshops, application support, language translation, and more. That's forculture.org/recovery.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Well, hello there, world. Welcome to 2022. I'm Bettina Carey, and I'm the founder and CEO of We Empower You, the community, and WeEmpowerYourLife.com, the website. And we're here live on Rainier Avenue Radio, where we're helping folks to shatter their glass ceilings with an S. Well, because glass ceilings are not meant to be merely broken. They're meant to be shattered to the floor. If you're looking to shatter your glass ceiling, then you've come to the right place. Launching a successful online coaching business might be your game. You may even want to publish your own story, or you may simply want to reach new heights in your entrepreneurial game. And that's what we're here to talk to you about. And today's topic has been inspired by Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., where when he delivered his iconic speech, "I Have a Dream," at the March on Washington on August 28th of 1963, little did he know, or maybe he knew a lot, that folks like me would be listening and watching his speech for years to come. Reading from the NAACP website, he was originally slated to speak for just 4 minutes. He went on to speak for 16 minutes, giving one of the most iconic speeches in history. NAACP, headed by Roy Wilkins at the time, was called upon to be one of those leaders of the march. And as one of the largest and most influential civil rights groups at the time, the organization harnessed the collective power of its members, organizing a march that was focused on the advancement of civil rights and the actualization of Dr. King's dream. 250,000 people strong, the march drew activists from far and wide, and leaders of the 6 prominent civil rights groups known as the Big Six at the time joined forces in organizing the march. And as I commit to speaking from the mountaintop for the vision for 2022, I am inspired by MLK's "I Have a Dream" speech, such that I intend to assemble another big six of organizations that can help reach 250,000 people. That's 250,000 people. And it is my intention that others listening and watching here today have experience of that coming from the mountaintop when they're speaking their vision into the world in 2022, which I believe is going to be an epic year in the making. And I know no better expert to help us, guide us here than with me today is Master Nigel Henry, our returning guest. I'm bringing him back because I'm getting so much value out of his activation conversation methodology, and I hope you will do too as well. Welcome back, Master Nigel Henry, to the stage.
Greetings. Always a pleasure.
How wonderful it is to have you. So talk to us about speaking from the mountaintop and why activating my identity, my purpose, my mission, my voice as my moneymaker can help me to reach a whole new level of vision in my life.
Wow, that's a great question. And it just happens that all the things you mentioned, vision, purpose, gifts, voice, identity, are all triggered by being on the mountaintop, right? So just to put it in context for our audience, the traditional normal person, when they are up to manifesting an intention, they say, where am I now? I'm right here. And where do I want to be? You notice that there's want is that they're here and they want to be here. And so they stand at the bottom and look at the top, look up and go, I've got to get there. And you notice the language is automatically get there. The key word there is get there.
I'm getting there. I'm going to.
Yes.
I'm on my way.
Right.
There's a path. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of question marks in the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so but the reason for that language is because of the differential. They're here and this is here. And this is the mountaintop, but they're at the bottom of the mountain. And it's a big question mark. How am I going to get there? And just the question how also adds complications because you got to figure it out. It's a lot of thinking and could delay, but the key word is get there, right? And so no one has disrupted that thinking up until now. And however, the greats, like Martin Luther King, were never thinking of getting there. And so that model was laid down by people like Martin Luther King and a lot of mystical people. But the language that we speak teaches us to go from here to here. And what matters is getting there, becoming, growing, And so in some sort of download, it came to my attention that all the greats didn't get there. They did the exact opposite. They came from there. They put themselves through their imagination on top of the mountain. And then from there, notice a new word, from the mountaintop, they could see everything. And not only could they see everything, it's like highest elevation ever, they could create everything, which is what Martin was seeing and doing. It was like, I've been to the mountaintop and I've seen the promised land, right? Notice he said, see it. And I know that I may not get there with you, but I've been there, right? And I'm literally coming back down to tell you what I saw on the mountaintop. Turns out
Some of you may not be there, right?
Yes. He had a prophetic gift where he could see the journey as well. But the main message is I've seen it. I've been there. I've been to that. Another person who did that was Moses in the Bible, Old Testament. That's where he was talking to God and he could see everything. And then he had to come down into the world to deliver this thing. And that's a whole different story. But the main thing is all the greats, all Jesus, all the people who changed the world go to the mountaintop. Einstein, when he was changing the laws of gravity and Newton's law, and he was like, I went to the mountaintop and I saw that I could sit on a photon and move at the speed of light and everything changed. I could see. Notice seeing. And the seeing faculty is the imagination, right? So
Yes,
the mountaintop.
There's some other greats, more modern day greats, right, that have also spoken into the world.
Elon Musk.
Right.
Apple, all the great companies, they are coming from the mountaintop. And when we say mountaintop, it's a vision that they create with no limitations. That's the beauty of the mountaintop. And they just see it as possible. And then they come and then they speak it. And they're called visionaries. It's like, wow. JFK back in the 60s, there will be a man on the moon. And like, a moon? Man on the moon? That's like, the moon is way out there. But he was able to articulate it as if it's already done, so that is now the destination. And then one of the advantage of staying on the mountaintop is that you can look down to where I am. I can stay and say, I'm here, and I can see the path from the mountaintop to the present is much faster than from the present to the mountaintop. I noticed Bettina is missing, but I'm just going to keep talking because I think she's going to come back. So one of the advantages of being in the mountaintop is that one can see the path. It's like you're on a ski slope and you're in the mountain and you're thinking, how do I get down? And literally you can see much clearer when you're coming down the mountain than when you're going up the mountain. So in engineering and manufacturing, they call it reverse engineering. You start from the end and work and draw a path back to the present. What else? In normal life, in business, we just say start with the end in mind, but the end has to be visualized from the mountaintop. So that's really it. Now, back to one of your questions. Strangest thing is, while I'm on the mountaintop, it also tells me who I have become in order for this to happen. So my identity when I'm on the mountaintop is different from the identity that when I'm in the present here today. So, in the vision, I also see who I have become, who I am that achieved this goal. So it's it requires a transformation for me to even be standing on the mountaintop. And then one of the things I realize is that all change comes from speaking. Martin spoke, Jesus spoke, Moses spoke, Elon spoke, Obama spoke. All the change, anyone that's changing anything was speaking, all right? And some of the notorious characters, Hitler spoke. Guess what? Change happened. So the point is, anyone that's leading change must talk, and then what comes out of my mouth, the way I speak, is a function of who I am when I'm on the mountaintop. The beautiful thing about this, going to the mountaintop is not a process. So one of the ways to just show that is presidents, right? We could use two. President Trump, President Obama, both. One of them was a celebrity. The other one was a community worker, blah, blah, blah. Then they became president, like just by election and swearing in. And instantly their identity changed. What they thought about changed, how they spoke changed. And that just shows you that we can literally morph into the highest version of ourselves, become it, and stay there.
Yes.
What happens is a lot of people go to the mountaintop and then they go, well, I've got to talk to real people now. So they downgrade and become normal again. And then they just join in, whereas I say, no, stay in the mountaintop. And a good sign that I'm in the mountaintop is if there's confusion when I'm speaking. Confusion. I know that's a contradiction, isn't it? Now, there's two things. One, when I speak my vision from the mountaintop, it's so compelling that people just start running, and it's clear. But sometimes the opposite is true, that it creates confusion because people believe something before, like the law of gravity, and now Einstein's saying, no, this is totally different. It's all law of relativity. And these people are like, I'm confused. Yeah, it's okay. You'll come around. Right? So
We'll figure it out.
the mountaintop vision must not shift to make the people happy. It is either you come along with it or you wait till you've got over it and then you come along with it. So that's one of the concerns that mountaintop practitioners have, is that, but Nigel, they'll think I'm crazy. Hello? Yes, that's a good sign.
They might. So,
That's right.
What comes along with this distinction of speaking your vision from the mountaintop, right? Speaking your vision from the mountaintop is that you come face to face with reality, with how do I do it, with do I believe in myself enough to make it happen? And at the end of the day, those are all things that get disappeared through this activation methodology that you teach and that you are a master of, and that I'm becoming a master of through your influence. So let's speak a little bit about what are the concerns that rise up when someone goes to declare, much like Martin Luther King did, his declaration of, I have a dream, and I'm just a regular person. And I go to have a dream, and I go to speak my dream, and all of a sudden I choke up. What is going on there?
The concerns. All right. So first of all, speaking in general, if we remember the statistics, what is the number one fear in America? Public speaking. And it doesn't matter whether it's mountaintop speaking or just saying hi to everybody on the stage. People have been conditioned to have described fear. So I'd like to just say this regarding fear. Fear is the number one gift that our Creator installed in the body. And its name, and the only thing is the name that we've given this thing called fear is wrong. I mean, well, not wrong, it's a mistake, mislabeling, and the correct name is turbo. And the second thing is, one of the greatest thing that anyone can ever do is speak to cause change. All the great ones, as I said before, speak to cause change. Now, this phenomenon known as turbo, that's like makes the body quicken and puts power in the body suddenly, is actually triggered by the contemplation of greatness. Just the thought of doing or saying or thinking anything great will trigger the turbo. And turbo is just a surge of power that runs through the body, and it will do whatever your mind is thinking about. So if you're thinking freeze, it will freeze you. If you're thinking run, it will accelerate you. If you're thinking power, let it on my word, like MLK, who's just putting the power on the word, it will do that. It is a very obedient power source. Therefore, when dealing with turbo, the mind must be clear on the intention, because that turbo is going to go wherever your mind is going. If you're like, oh my God, it's not going to work, it will lock you down saying it's not going to work. So that's what's going on as far as the physiology. And it will, I can't talk. It locks down the throat, right? Whatever you say, it will obey you and put it instantly. So it's amplified when one is on the stage, okay? So for practice purposes, in my sessions, we condition the person to master the turbo before they get on the stage, because it's going to activate, right? Because stage is greatness land. So then there is the concerns pre-speech, right?
Right. The how-to in
I'm
particular, right?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. I'm up in the mountaintop and I'm getting a totally vision that has nothing to do with reality, nothing. But everyone else is in reality, like like Elon. People are driving their gasoline cars, and he's like, I'm seeing driverless cars just moving around, and they're like, this guy is not realistic, right? And it's like, I'm not here to download reality. I'm here to change it. And that's what the visionaries do. They just have something that's totally ridiculous, like compared to reality, and then they are going to speak it. But human beings, or the normal human, when they hear something that's different and they can't see how, they say, you are crazy, Mr. Visionary Weirdo Nerdy. And then what they do is shoot at the visionary. Bullets start flying at the speaker because the vision is scaring them. So that is why a lot of mountaintop people keep their visions to themselves, because they're concerned about the reaction of the audience who are grounded in reality. Then the other question that normal people who are realistics, they're called realists, versus visionaries, realists, they're like, well, if I can't see how this can be done, then it's not possible, and therefore this visionary is a crazy person. We need to put them away. So this creates problems for visionaries because people automatically think they're crazy. And secondly, ordinary people who are stuck in reality land will try, will just ridicule their ideas, the visionary, and all sorts of manner of testing will happen. So how do we deal with that? First of all, when I'm on the mountaintop, another quality that's required to develop is conviction in the vision. Never let it go just because people won't approve. Second thing is never speak the vision and seek the approval or support of your audience. The vision is to change the audience, not to get them to support it. However, when it's spoken well in a manner that I teach in my sessions, the audience tends to be inspired. And then we get the piece from the scripture that says, without a vision, and we mean a mountaintop vision, the people will perish, meaning they'll just sit there and do what they do until they die. But with a vision, this is Nigel adding the extension, a mountaintop vision, it will activate the audience, inspire them to take action, even when they have no idea how to do it. They will get inspired and literally will kind of join in the mountaintop thinking and be inspired to come up with their vision. Then the third phenomena happens when a vision is spoken from the mountaintop. I have a dream. Martin Luther King's vision, and he spoke it and said what he saw. And one of the benefits that happens is the people who know how to manifest that vision will show up to assist and make the vision real. So it's not necessary for me to worry about how, but be confident that there's a who or several who's or groups of who's who will show up because the vision will call them to be. I think that's my explanation. So while Bettina is coming back, I'm going to summarize. Oh, there we go. She's back. Were you able to hear? Oh,
yes.
Anyway,
I've been able to hear. I'm going to continue to try to get my camera back up.
Okay. So should I summarize? I'll just summarize.
Go ahead and summarize.
As far up until now, people were taught to get to their goal, get to the mountaintop. Moving forward from 2022 onwards, the new paradigm is come from the mountaintop. From the mountaintop, I have the best view, the best identity. I see who I must become. I have all sorts of faculties activated, and I can also see the path from the mountaintop to the present, which then when I go to the present, I can follow the path that I saw from the mountaintop. Everything is like the mountaintop is a gift. It just gives you everything. And as long as you follow the thing that was seen, you'll be fine. The last question Bettina had, what are some of the concerns that happens when one is operating from this mode? Number one is that the majority of people operate from reality and try to get to the future. And only a small fraction of visionary, inspired leaders come from the mountaintop and bring it to reality. And because they are a minority and it's confusing to the normal people, they tend to be attacked and shot at or shot. Just in case you wondered, MLK got shot the next day, right? It's just expect there will be bullets, okay? And it's because visions activate turbo. A big vision can be scary for a normal person. I learned that the hard way. And so when people hear a vision, they're intimidated by it. And the trouble with it, it doesn't go away. It's just in your face. And they can either run away, which they'll still be covered by the vision, or they can shoot the visionary and then they'll be safe, right? No change. I get to go back to comfort. So you notice most visionaries were ridiculed, shot down, put in asylum, crazy, because they were saying something that the masses didn't understand. Yes. So the second point about Bettina's question. So go ahead.
We're running out of time. So I wanted you to just wrap up real quick. A final.
Oh yeah. The final thing is about the how thing. We don't do the how thing. The vision will call forth the who thing. A vision, right? We do the who thing. So when the vision is strong, you'll hear someone in the audience going, I know how to do that. I can see the path from here to there. The vision will call the people. So that's why for visionary leaders, they must speak it strong and speak it clear, and it will call forth resources. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, we've run out of time here today. But again, our conversation is about speaking your mission, your vision from the mountaintop. We've been here with Master Nigel Henry and my vision. It is now December 31st of 2022, and 6 powerful organizations have assembled their leadership and the membership. Together, we have reached 250,000 people around the globe who are experiencing financial empowerment on a massive scale. That is the We Empower You vision. It's been great to have you back, Master Nigel Henry. We'll have you back again soon. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Next up is our Community Spotlight, and we look forward to seeing you back every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here today. Bye for now.
Bye.
Ask most anyone if they feel empowered in all areas of their life. If they're honest, they'll likely say no. Hi, I'm Bettina Carey, and I may be only 4'9½", but what I do is big. Dream big, break through, and connect to powerful people like you. And what I'm doing is inspiring and empowering others to break through, shatter their revenue glass ceiling. And I'm here to tell you that the We Empower You community is where you're going to want to be. It's a community, it's a membership, it's a movement. And what we're doing is helping you to start and run your online business without doing a thing. We're helping you to find angel investors that you don't have to pay back, to run your own membership program where you don't have to do the work, and so much more. We are here to empower you at the We Empower You Global Summit and the WeEmpowerYourLife.com. Visit us on the web at weempoweryourlife.com or text the word Bettina to 555-888. We'll see you at the summit.